विश्वामवाहिनां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्रिकलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना न्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते बुद्धाय तुभ्यं गुरुं हि स्वयं सत्यः प्रज्ञाभक्तिविनीतयः विहितिश्चाभिवृताः सत्यं गुरुं प्रणमाम्यहम् सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. We're done up to 59. Let us start from 54. काच परदेवतोक्ता चिच्छक्तिः ओ जगद्भर्ता सूर्यः सर्वेषां को जीवनहेतुः सपर्जन्यः कशूरः यो भीतत्राता त्रातकः सद्गुरुः ओ हि जगद्गुरुः शम्भुः ज्ञानं कुतः शिवादेव मुक्तिं लभेत कस्मात् मुकुन्दभक्तेः मुकुन्दः कः यस्कारयेत विद्याम् काथा विद्या यदात्मनो स्फूर्तिः कस्य न शोकः यस्यादक्रोधः किं सुखं तुष्टिः को राजा पञ्जनकृते कश्चश्वा नीचसेवको यस्यात् को मायी परमेशः कैन्द्रजालायते प्रपञ्चोऽयम् कस्वप्ननिभः जाग्रद्व्यवहाराः सत्यमिति किम् ब्रह्म किं मिथ्या यद्विद्यानाश्यम् तुच्छन्दो शशविषाणादि काचानिर्वाच्या माया किं कल्पितम् द्वैतम्. किं पारमार्थिकं स्यात् किं पारमार्थिकं स्यात् किं पारमार्थिकं स्यात् अद्वैतम् 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 चाज्ञता कुतः अनादिः चाज्ञता कुतः अनादिः चाज्ञता कुतः अनादिः वपुषश्च पोषकं किं प्रारब्धम् वपुषश्च पोषकं किं प्रारब्धम् वपुषश्च पोषकं किं प्रारब्धम् चान्नदायि किं चायुः चान्नदायि किं चायुः चान्नदायि किं चायुः. So this 60th verse starts with 161st question. There are 4 questions and answers in this. Kim paramarthikam syad advaitam. The previous question was, see the last few questions, as you can see, are all connected with deep concepts in Advaita. So he defined what is mithya, he defined what is tuchha, then what is maya, then what is kalpitam dvaitam. Kacha anirvatsya maya kim kalpitam dvaitam. Niyate, see in fact niyate pratiyate anaya iti maya. That is how the word maya comes, by which things are seen. pratiyate anaya iti maya. Anyway, so the question here is kim paramarthikam. Kalpitam is something which has been created. Paramarthikam is something which is not created. Satyabhutam, that is what it means. Which is eternal, which doesn't change. Kim paramarthikam syat. The answer he gives is Advaitam. There is a beautiful Mandukya Karika. Advaitam paramartho hi dvaitam tad bheda uchyate tesham upayathadvaitam tenayam na virudhyate. Advaitam paramartho hi dvaitam tad bheda uchyate. Today is Shankara Jayanti. Maybe a good idea to look at the commentary as written by Shankaracharya. Advaitam. Advaitam paramartho hi dvaitam tad bheda uchyate tesham ubhayatha advaitam tenayam na virudhyate. In fact, the previous verse is in Gaudapada Karika. स्वसिद्धांत व्यवस्थासु द्वैतिनो निश्चिता दृढ़ं परस्परं विरुध्यन्ते तैरयं न विरुध्यते. This is how it goes. Swasiddhanta vyavasthasu means in trying to establish their own positions. Swasya siddhantaha swasiddhantaha swasiddhanta vyavasthasu. So whatever is their tenets, okay, in order to establish them. Dvaitino nischita dridham, having fixed their minds in that. Parasparam virudhyante, so they keep fighting with each other. Parasparam virudhyante. So Dvaitinaha means all of them. So whether it is Buddha, whether it is Nayayika, whether it is Dvaitin, whether it is, all of them are only Dvaitins. स्वसिद्धांत व्यवस्थासु द्वैतिनो निश्चिताः दृढं निश्चिताः परस्परं विरुध्यन्ते तैरयं न विरुध्यते. So this person, this Advaiti, has no problem. So the Dvaitis keep quarreling, Dvaitin has no problem. So this is how the previous verse goes. Now he says Advaitam paramartho hi Dvaitam tadbheda uchyate. Let me read this. See. Kena hetuna taihi na virudhyate. Kena hetuna taihi na virudhyate. Why is it that it is stated that Advaitin has no problem with others? Na virudhyate ityuchyate advaitam paramarthaha hi yasmat Dvaitam nanatvam tasya advaitasya bhedaha tadbhedaha. Dvaitam tadbhedaha uchyate. See, tasya karyam ityarthaha. So tadbhedaha tad karyam ityarthaha. So then Shankara goes and then he quotes Ekameva dvitiyam Tattejo srijata iti shrutehe. Why? See, Dvaitam tad bhedaha, the interpretation was tat karyam. So it is an effect of that. Why is it described as the effect? So he says, Ekameva dvitiyam. The Shruti says that there was only one entity before the creation, before the manifestation took place. Ekameva dvitiyam sadeva sommidam agre asid ekameva dvitiyam. Now, when it was described that it is only one, now obviously when you see the karya, it is an outcome of that. So therefore you call it tasya karya. If there was only one thing and if there is some second thing which has come, then obviously it has to be, so this is how it is. So there is nothing which is created it is only manifested. So this is the overall understanding. Okay, in ultimate understanding of physics also, there is nothing like it is created. Okay? I mean, you can call it creation, but it is only manifestation. Okay, because it is only transformation of one into other. Okay. So anyway, so the theory that he is trying to present, this is how he ekameva dvitiyam. Then further, there are other Upanishads also which says tattejo srijata. So atmana akasha sambhutaha. So there is only one entity and therefore the second entity has to be karya. So that is why he is interpreting tad bhedaha tad karyam advaitam paramartho hi. So in fact, yesterday when we were reading the Swapna, so there is another logic which is being presented. Adavante jagannasti vartamane pitat tatha vitathai sadrishas santaha ahitatha iva lakshitaha. See, Adavante jagannasti means before this manifestation took place, and once this is going to unfold back into that. Okay? So this Adau ante cha yannasti vartamanepi tattatha is another logic that is being stated. So it is only an effect of it. So it is just seen. Vitathai sadrishas santaha avitatha iva lakshitaha. Okay, they are not permanent things, but they look as if they are permanent. Okay, so that is how it is said. Okay, so itat tejo srijata iti shrutehe. This is shrutehe. Now he comes to upapatti. Upapatti means logic, reasoning. Okay. So it is not necessary that you have to accept simply this as a statement of fact given by Shruti, but you can understand this through reasoning also. Upapatti. He says, Svachitta spandana bhave samadhau murchayam sushuptau va abhava. So upapatti means by your own experience and the rationale you will be able to convince yourself. So there are states into which this person gets into during which you don't experience Dvaita. So he is listing all of them. Upapattescha. What does he say? Svachitta spandana bhave. Chitta spandana bhave. See, spandanam is basically an activity. Okay? So it can be rotation. So spandanam is basically some churning, some kind of an activity. So chittasya spandana bhave means chitta vrittihi when it is not there. Okay, abhave, in the absence of chitta vritti, samadhau. Okay, so if you get into the samadhi state, samadhau, murchayam, even then. So it is not that you don't live in the murcha avastha. Murcha is when you are unconscious. So when you become unconscious. It is not that you don't exist, but the activity of the mind ceases. So therefore he says, Murchayam Sushuptau va. So all these states, you don't see any Dvaita. Okay? So Upapattescha Svachitta Spandana Bhave Samadho Murchayam Sushuptau va Bhavat Ataha Tad Bhedaha Uchyate Dvaitam. Okay? Tad Bhedaha Tasya Karyam Vityuchyate Dvaitam. Dvaitinam tu tesham paramarthataha aparamarthadasya ubhayathapi dvaitameva. As far as Dvaitins are concerned, so paramarthataha aparamarthataha. So in Advaita, so you say paramarthataha advaitam, so vyavaharataha advaitam, aparamarthataha advaitam. So for them, both paramartha and aparamartha, it is Dvaitam. Ubhayatha Dvaitameva Yedicha Tesham Bhrantanam. So now, see, he beautifully describes the later part. See, the first half of his Advaitam Paramartho hi Dvaitam Tadbheda Uchyate. Tesham ubhayatha dvaitam. Up to this is over. Ubhayatha means paramarthataha aparamarthatascha dvaita. Tesham ubhayatha dvaitam. Now the last quarter of the verse, tenayam navirudhyate. So tena ayam navirudhyate. Navirudhyate means, so there is no contradiction. Okay. Avirodha. Virodha means there is a contradiction. Okay. Now how does he explain? See, yajita tesham bhrantanam dvaita drishtihi asmakam advaita drishtihi abhrantanam tenayam hetuna asmat pakshaha navirudhyate taihi. So bhranta abhranta he brings. So bhranta means the one who is confused. Okay, illusioned fellow. So yadika tesham bhrantanam dvaita drishtihi. So this dvaita drishti is bhrantas. Okay, because of lack of understanding. Asmakam tu advaita drishtihi abhrantana. Now when can there be a meaningful dialogue and contradiction? So only if both of them are in the same plane. So when that person comes, so at the door, and then says something, so we don't actually take it seriously, because that person is in a different state, unmattavastha, right? So if the person does not have conscious, so which functions as the way it functions for normal human beings, then we call that fellow a mad fellow, and whatever he says we don't hear, right? So a contradiction and dialogue will happen only, so that is how he is trying to bring it. So this Advaitin's view and the Dvaitin's view. So Bhrantaha Abhrantaha. That is why Yadishatesham Bhrantanam Dvaita Drishtihi Asmakam Advaita Drishtihi Abhrantanam Tenayam Hetuna. Tena means because of this. Okay, only if they are equals. If they are not even equal, so you don't need to treat. There is no contradiction. Hetuna asmat pakshaha navirudhyate taihi. So then he moves on. Indro mayabhihi puruhutaiyate nadu tadviti amasti iti shrute. Then he goes on to give an example. Yatha mattagajarudhaha unmattam bhumishtham prati gajarudhoham gajam vahemaham prati tibruvanamapi tam prati navahayet tam prati navahayati avirodha buddhya tadvat. A very interesting example which he has cited now. The mattagajarudhaha, I think perhaps what he has in his mind is a battlefield. So then you move on, you climb upon an elephant, and then you try to drive it towards the other person, and so on. So here Shankara says, Matta Gajarudhaha. Matta means that Gaja is in Matta state. Okay? Matta Gajarudhaha Unmattam Bhumishtham Prati. Unmatta is sort of mad fellow, lunatic. Bhumishtham, so he is there. But that fellow says, so he is just quoting, Gajarudhoham Gajam Vahayamam Prati. So that fellow says, I am also on the Gaja, so may you drive your Gaja towards me. Gajarudhoham Gajam Vahayamam Prati iti Dhruvanamapi. If the other warrior says, so then I think you have to just go and reach. Gajam Vahaya. If you are really well with us, let us see. So you come towards me. Suppose that fellow says, so he will immediately take it seriously. Whereas the other fellow, who is not in that state. Therefore, Unmattam Prati is what he is saying. Tam Prati Vahayati Avirod. See, Navahayati Avirodha Buddhya. Okay? So, Virodha Buddhi Nasti. Virodha Buddhi means, So now, if the enemy says that I am also upon, now, so there is a virodha buddhi, therefore you just move. So here there is no virodha buddhi. Tataha paramarthataha brahmavit atmaiva dvaitinam tenayam hetuna smatpakshaha na viruddhyate taihi. So it beautifully goes. Tenayam na viruddhyate advaitam paramartho hi dvaitam tadbheda uchyate yesham ubhayatha advaitam tenayam na viruddhyate. They are very beautiful. See, in fact, one could ask this question. See, this is something which needs to be thoroughly understood because he is trying to pack in a lot of philosophy. Advaita, see, the question that one could ask for oneself is, so he is quoting several Shrutis. He is also giving Upattis. In this particular Karika itself, as you see, the style of Shankara is, so he tries to present something from Shruti. He also tries to present some rationale how you can understand. So even letting aside the Shruti. Now the question that one can ask is, so since you are quoting Shruti as Pramana, then there are certain other passages of the same Shruti which also teach you to perform certain sacrifice, to do certain things. And it may say that because of this you will reach this and so on and so forth. Then obviously the same Shruti presents Dvaita also. If both of them have to be weighed, so that is where the major problem is. You can see the Shankara Jayanti. So we can think of, see the thing is, Shankara presents a certain viewpoint and upholds Advaita. There are certain other acharyas who are as intelligent as Shankara, okay, to some extent. So they have taken the other position. So it is not that they have taken a position which is baseless. So the point is, there are other Shrutis which tell you that do this, do that. If Shrutis are to be weighed, then if you say that every Shruti has to be given some equal weight, then there are more Dvaita Bodhaka Vakyas than Advaita Bodhaka Vakyas. So that is where the supreme intellect of Shankara comes in. So I have to give Pramana for Shrutis. This is like the position which is taken by Kumbhakarna and Vibhishana. There are some people, so even when there is Dharma Virodha, so they consider something and then they say, no, I have to be with my brother, etc. There will be some logic which you will follow. Now here, there are so many Vakyas, okay? So do this karma, you will get this, do this. So the Shruti itself talks of Swarga, where this person can go and come back and so on and so forth. So here, the point that he is trying to make is Advaitam Paramarthaha. So that is something which is very interesting to note. So I don't consider those Vakyas are completely apramana. But those are Vakyas which are meant to lead you to this Advaita. So that is where this is something which has to be very, very carefully understood. I don't say that the other Shruti Vakyas are invalid Vakyas. They are valid Vakyas. So in fact, there are very detailed discussion which goes on. See, Dva Suparna Saija Sakhaya Samanam Vriksham Parishasya Jati. There are so many places in which you will find. Okay? Agnihotram Juyat Sarga Kamaha. So Sarga Kamaha means there is some Sarga Loka. So you are desirous of that Loka and therefore you have to go. So if this Vakya is there, then obviously the same Shruti tells you that for you to reach this, so which means there is also permanent, there are other things, so I will go, I will come back, that is okay. So anyway there is Dvaitam. So here the thing is, so this clarity which Shankara tries to bring in various discussions is something which is worth recollecting. So there are two kinds of Vakyas that are available to you. So Dvaita Bodhaka Vakyas and Advaita Bodhaka Vakyas. Both are Shrutis. So as Shruti I respect both of them. But now among the Shruti Vakyas, so if there is going to be contradiction, then that has to be resolved. And that is where Shankara says, to some extent, you may be able to mend the Vakyas, which are Dvaita Bodhaka Vakyas, and interpret them in such a way that they are not in contradiction with Advaita Bodhaka Vakya. But Advaita Bodhaka Vakyas can never be mended or understood in any way in consonance with Dvaita Bodhaka Vakya. So when it says Ekameva Dvitiyam, Mrityosta Mrityam Apnoti Nehna Nasti Kinchana, so when there are so many Shrutis which tell you, see, Udaramantaram Kurute, Asatasya Bhayam Bhavati, there are so many Vakyas like that, which tell you that this vision is something which is going to lead you into trouble, whereas this vision is something which is true and therefore which will not. So now this can be explained by resorting to certain other means, as these Vakyas are Gauna Vakyas. See? So there is something called Anuvadakatvam, Arthavadaha. So it is keeping those things in mind. This is granted in Shastras. Arthavadaka Vakya. So this is something which we do in the description of the world also. So we try to model it in some form which may not be really true, but it helps us in understanding something. So to convey the importance of certain things, we use what are known as Arthavada. In fact, Arthavada is of three types. Virodhe Gunavadasyat, Anuvadovadharite, Bhutarthavadastadhanat, Arthavadas Tridha Smrtaha. So there are three kinds of Arthavadas. So in order to, Arthavada means something which is in praise. Okay? So praise for a certain purpose. Okay. So this is what is. So sometimes when there is a Virodha, you call it as a Gunavada. See, Gunavada. So this is something which is very common in our day-to-day language also. Okay. So he is a donkey, suppose you say. It means, he does not, he is a tube light, suppose you want to say. His understanding is very poor. So this is Gunavada. So it is in that sense, so Virodhe, when there is a Virodha, it is a Gunavada. Kamapi Gunam Adaya. So then Anuvadaha Avadharite. Avadharite means, so if it is already known, okay, Avadharita means already known. And if the Shruti says, so then it is Anuvadaha. Anuvadaha means it basically tells you your own understanding, the position. See, as I understand, so yesterday we were saying, towards the end, in the previous class we were saying, Nacha Upadesharham Dvaitam Jatamatra Pranibuddhigamyatva. Now, see, Upadesharham means something to be taught to you which you do not know. So, Dvaitam is something which is already known to you. It is Avadharita. So, Avadharita Vishaya, as understood by you, it need not be Paramarthika. Understand? So, this is how it is understood. Avadharita means understood by many. So, this is our own experiences. So, the Shruti can also talk of our own experiences which need not necessarily be true. Suppose I say, okay, let us take a much simpler example. Can you see the sky to be blue? So look at the beautiful blue sky. Suppose I describe. Is it correct or is it wrong? Is the sky blue? So strictly speaking,
limited framework it is.
So we see that the sky is not blue. So the description of what we see is what is there in this sentence. It need not be reality. So there is nothing like blueness associated with the sky. Okay. So it is what we perceive. So what is perceived by us can also be stated by Shruti. Okay. So what Shankara does is, he takes this position that all these Dvaita Bodhaka Vakyas that are there have to be taken as Arthavada Vakyas. So the validity of these Arthavada Vakyas need not be same as those Pradhana Vakyas. So this Pradhana Vakya is Sattvamasi Aham Brahmasmi Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. So those cannot be reinterpreted. So in accordance with this, but these Vakyas can be taken as something which has secondary meaning. Okay. So that is why he says Advaitam Paramarthaha. Paramarthaha means it is Paramartha Satya. In fact, even those Karikas, the Srishti which has been spoken by Shruti. So if the Srishti is spoken by Shruti, obviously it tells you that Atmana Akasha Sambhutaha Akashad Vayu Vayor Agni. So then Vayu is different from Agni, Agni is different from this, is all Dvaita. So there, once again, this Karika will help you. In fact, Mrilloha Vispulingadyehi Krishtirya Shoditanyatha Upayas Sovataraya Nasti Bheda Kathanchana. You understand? What is the purpose of Shruti? So whether it is the Shruti which you find in Taittiriya Upanishad or you find in Chandogya Upanishad, wherever you find. So Mrilloha Vispulingadyehi. So Vispulinga is something Yatha Agnehe Kshudra Vispulinga Vicharanti. So we have all these Shrutis. So all these Shrutis talk of this Utpatti. So Dvaita. So there the Karika comes and helps. So Mrilloha Vispulingadyehi. This Mrita is the example by which this Chandogya explains. Ghata. Okay. So Mrilloha. Loha. Mrita, Loha, both are there. Okay. Mrilloha Vispulingadyehi. Srishtihi ya chodita anyatha. Anyatha means nana prakarena. So the creation, which is the process of creation which you find described in the Shrutis themselves, okay, it is not necessarily Karma Kanda, it is even the Upanishads. Okay. Krishmirloha Vispulingadyehi Srishtirya Choditanyatha. So what is the purpose? Upayas Sovataraya. Avataraya means it is primarily to make you understand the Advaita concept. This has been said. So how do you bring in this Advaita concept? So the examples that have been cited are all not to teach you that there is Dvaita, but to teach you that it is only one thing which has got manifested in many things. You see many things. So it basically does the anuvada of what you perceive and tries to explain how you can understand the Advaita in the view of the description that is provided. Okay, with a certain perception. That is why it brings in the example of clay and pot. So though you see many entities, they are none other than clay. It is not to teach you that there is Dvaita, but to teach you the Advaita. So this is with the specific example, a Shruti will explain in some context. But if you take the entire Prapancha, so you see through your own example some things from which you can very easily see that it is all none other than play. So it will never be in that form forever. So this has been given, a name and a form has been given. So you extend this to universe itself. So the multiplicity that you see has to be explained in some way, and this is one particular way. But that is not Paramartha, that is not the Tatparya or Shruti. That is why Advaitam Paramarthaha, Dvaitam Tad Bhedaha Uchyate. So in that Shruti, Mrilloha Visphulinga, in that Karika, Mrilloha Vispulingadihi Srishtirya Chodita Anyatha Upayaha. See, this is a very beautiful usage. Upayaha means. See, Upayaha Saha Avataraya. Avataraya means for the knowledge to descend into your mind. Okay, it is a means. So Upaya, in fact, there is a beautiful passage in Bhartrihari. Upayanancha niyamaha navashyam apatisthate. Upadeyapi ehaya upade tanupayan prachakshate. See, tanu upayan prachakshate. Upadeyapi eheyaha tanupayan prachakshate. This is beautiful karika which Bhartrihari in Vakyapadiya says. Upadeya means something which has to be taken by you. Heya means something to be dropped. See, we had no Hikim Heyam, Heyam Apijakim Akaryam. So Heya and Upadeya are opposites. So here he says, what is Upaya? He beautifully explains. Kim Upadeyam, Guru Vachanam. Okay. So here in this Karika we have Upadeyapi Yeheyaha. What does it mean? So having taken it, whatever is to be dropped, those are upayas. Upadeya piyeheyaha tanupayan prachakshate. In fact, very simple. So let us understand. Suppose you are deciding to make badam halwa today. So you do various means. So skinning, so boiling, water, putting that, etc. They are all upayas. So what is upeya? Upeya is that final element. So whether you do through this or you do some other means or you peel in some other way, so those things do not matter. Okay. So for this construction also, so initially they will put all these rods. What for? For pouring in concrete. But then once the building is there, okay, so you have to remove all of them. These are all upayas. So upadeyapi ye heyaha means you have to drop them. Tanupayan prachakshate. Upadeyapi ye heyaha tanupayan prachakshate. Upayanancha niyamaha navashyam avatisthate. Upayanam niyamaha means the upayas can be many. Niyamaha means there is nothing which restricts it. Navashyam avatisthate. Here he uses the same word. See, Mrilloha Vispulingadihi Srishtirya Choditanyatha Upayas Ovataraya Nasti Bheda Kathanchana. In fact, strictly speaking, there is no Bheda. So this Bheda is Bheda Drishti, Dvaita Drishti. So strictly speaking, it is not there. All that is spoken here is primarily to make you appreciate this ultimate understanding of these Shruti Vakyas, which is Advaita. The ultimate purport of all these Shruti Vakyas. So this is how this thing has to be understood. See, that is there something which is he saying? See, in fact, even see, it's very beautiful. See, Mriloha Vispulingadihi Nanu Yad Yutpatteh Praku Ajam Sarvam Ekamevad Vitiyam. This is another interesting discussion. Shankara beautifully writes his version. Yad Yutpatteh Praku, he says, I agree, Ekamevad Vitiyam, you say, that Shruti cannot be interpreted other way. Okay? So Sajatiya, Vijatiya, Swagata Bheda, all Bhedas are not there. So this is what is being stated by Ekamevad Vitiyam. It cannot be reinterpreted, it cannot be otherwise interpreted, whatever it is. So therefore, you say that keeping those Vakyas which cannot be interpreted the other ways, if you want to interpret all other Vakyas, so now he is trying to give you options. Nanu yad yutpatteh prak ajam sarvam ekamevad titiyam tathapi utpattehe urdhvam jatamidam sarvam jivascha bhinnaha iri. Maybe that was in the previous state, there was Advaita. Now you accept that there is Dvaita. What is the problem? See, no. See, Ekamevad Dvitiyam means, Ekamevad Dvitiyam, why do you want to say at all times? Ekamevad Dvitiyam at one stage you say. Now it is Advitiya. You just accept. Somebody. See, tathapi utpatte urdhvam jatamidam sarvam jivascha bhinnaha iti. Maivam. Anyarthatvat utpatti shrutinam. The purpose of utpatti shruti is different. He is not to tell you that there is Dvaita. See, purvamapi parihata eva ayam doshaha. In fact, I think it is, he refers to the earlier discussion. Ayam doshaha purvam parihritaha. Yenna? See, Swapnavat Atmamaya Visarjitaha Sanghataha. Sanghata Swapnavat Sarve Atmamaya Visarjitaha. Adhikye Sarvasameva Nopavatte Vidyate. He is just citing that. See, Ghatakashovatpatti Bhedat Jiva Jivanam Utpatti Bhedat Bhedadihi iti. So you say that there are so many jivas. Okay? So what is this like? So we have explained it even in our own Karika. So that's what he is trying to say. Ghatakashasya utpattihi means as you create a pot, you also create a space inside the pot. Before the pot was created, so there was Akasha. After the pot was created, there is Akasha. But earlier Akasha you cannot hold anything. Now in the Akasha you can hold something. Right? So before this room was created, you cannot live here. But after the room is created, you can live. So it is not different Akasha. There is only one Akasha. So, but there is some Upadhi which has been created. And thereby, it serves a certain purpose. But that doesn't mean Akasha is many. Because a frame has been created, Akasha looks different. Okay? So now there are 34 apartments in this building. So before this concrete frame, there are now 34 different spaces in which people can live. That is all. See, Ghatakasha utpatti bhedadiva jivanam utpatti bhedatu iti vitageva utpatti bhedadi shrutihi arabhya agrishya iha punaha utpatti shrutinam aidam parya pratipipadayishaya. Aidam parya, see, aidam paryam is a nice usage. Idam parata. So idam parata ayaha bhavaha aidam paryam. Idam parata means the purpose is this. Okay? So in order to explain, upanyasaha mrilloha vispulingadi drishtantopanyasahi srishtihi acha udira prakashita kalpita anyatha cha sarvaha srishti prakaraha, all that different means which has been stated, different modes which have been adopted. Jiva paramatmaikatva buddhyavatārāya upayaha asmakam. So Jiva paramatma ekatva buddhyavatārāya. Avataranam means in order to bring that. Avataraya upayaha asmakam. They are essentially means that have been adopted by Shruti to explain this. Yatha, so prana samvade, so he quotes the certain other things. न शाखाभेदेषु अन्यथा च प्राणादिसंवादश्रवणात्. In fact, he nicely says, so in different Shrutis, so this prana samvada has been narrated slightly differently. As the Utpatti has been described differently in different Shrutis, so too prana samvada has been interpreted differently, described differently. See, yadihi vadaha paramartha eva abhut. In fact, if the description were to be paramartha, so truly to be accepted as they are, ekarupaha eva samvadaha syat, then it has to be uniform. Even the Shrutis which describe Utpatti, okay, in Taittariya we have Atmana Akashaha, whereas in Chandogya we will not have. It will simply say Tattejo Srijata. Straight away, it will say Tattejo Srijata. So now there is a contradiction, you may say. So in order to resolve all that, he says, Ekarupaha eva samvadaha syat sarvashakhasu ashroshyata. It would have been heard in the same form in all the shakhas of Veda. Viruddha aneka prakarena na ashroshye. See, it would not have been stated differently in different shakhas. Na ashroshyata, but shruyate tu. You see variety of them. Tasmat na tadarthyam samvada shrutinam. So those shrutis which are describing these things, tadarthyam means the main purpose. Tatu eva arthaha tadartha. So the ultimate purpose of the shruti is not to explain what is explained by that, but to explain something. It is like this. Suppose you want to explain some concept in mathematics. So you will resort some particular way. The other fellow will resort some other particular way. It is not that it is only this way it has to be done. Ultimately, if you want to run some program, you can use any of the language and then you can run it. That is the purpose. So that is how he is trying to say. These shrutis which resort to, okay, their purpose is something else. Tatha utpatti vakyani pratyetavyani. Kalpasarga bhedat samvadashrutinam utpatti-shrutinam cha pratisargam manyatha. This is another thing. So he says, this utpatti-shrutis are different. So maybe we can take that these shrutis are describing different creations, different sets of creations. So one shruti talks about at one point, then everything merged back. Once more creation was started. So you can understand the differences like that, etc. So for that, I think he says, Nishprayojanatvat. So those are all meaningless interpretations. I don't think it serves any interesting purpose and so on. Tasmat utpatyadishrutayaha atmikatva buddhyavatara yeva na anyarthaha kalpayitam yuktaha ataha nastyutpatyadikrito bhedaha kathanchana. In fact, he moves on beautifully. Next karika also. These are all beautiful karikas. In fact, then he says, there are different ways of explaining first. That is what the next karika is. See, ashramas trividha hina madhyamotkrishtha drishthayaha. Upasanopadishteyam tadartham anukampaya. See, there are various upasanas which are being described in Shrutis. So if Advaita is Paramartha, then why are you asking this person to do this upasana? So this upasana, that upasana, and so on and so forth. So there he says, Trividhaha ashramaha. Ashramas trividha hina madhyama utkrishta drishtayaha. Means, so the drishti this person has can be at a very low level, can be at medium level, can be at a very high level. So everybody cannot be treated the same way. So in order to help some person, even to get his mind focused on something, you have to give him some upaya. Okay? So madhyama utkrishta drishtayaha upasanopadishta yam tadartham anukampaya. Anukampaya means out of compassion. Okay. Anukampa means compassion. So the Shruti has stepped down to see to it that this person can also elevate himself
and
benefit from the ultimate truth which is being stated there, for which he needs a certain frame of mind. So this Chitta Shuddhi. So these upasanas and various other things which have been described in Shruti, the purport is not to teach you Dvaita, it is only to teach you Advaita. So these are all means which have been. So the understanding should be Advaitam Paramartho Hi. That is what he is trying to say. Kim Paramarthikam Advaitam Cha Ajñata Kutaha Anadihi. Ajñata Kutaha. So the question now arises, true, Advaita is Paramartha, but I am unable to understand. So that is because of Ajnana. This Ajñata means, so the state of not recognizing this truth. Okay? Ajñata refers to the state in which you are Ajnana. So now the question is, Kutaha. Kutaha can be understood in two ways. See, Kutaha vilambena agataha means, why? Why did you come late? Kutaha can also mean from where, from what time, all that. Okay? Kutaha here means this ajñata, the state of being in ignorance is from when. Ajñata kutaha anadihi. We don't know. Okay? So we don't know, therefore we call it as anadi. In fact, in Advaita, there are a few things which are taken as anadi. See, what are the things? Do you know?
Other than ignorance.
Jivaisho vishuddhachit tatha jiveshayor bhida. So there are 6 elements. Jivaishaha vishuddhachit tatha jiveshayor bhida. Avidya tachitor yogaha shadasmakam anadayaha. So avidya is one of them. Tachitor yogaha, that is ajñata. So avidya and the connection of avidya with this individual, so both, all of them are considered as anadi. Jivaisho vishuddhachitu tatha jiveshayor bhida. Avidya tachitor yogaha shadasmakam anadayaha. I think we'll stop here. Om Sarve Rasihana Santu Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukha Bhav Bhavet. Om